Before that, we are discussing regarding the story of the tournament. After the education was over, the tournament was done. Dronacharya brought all the Kauravas and Pandavas to display what they have learnt in front of all the elders and all the citizens and the kings and queens and princes of different countries. Everything was going on as it was planned. Dronacharya's mind, it was there to show that Arjuna is the best archer. Um, um, but what happened in between? Karna came, and he was Radha. Everybody knows. Nobody knows who is really his parents. Radha came, but nobody recognized him. Who is he? But he challenged that I can do much better. I can show better skills than Arjuna. And he asked for permission, but without getting any permission, he displayed. And before that, Arjuna has finished his skills in archery. So everyone is awed by different ways of shooting, and it was very powerful. Everybody was praising Arjuna. But when Karna came and without any permission, he started showing different kind of talents, then everybody started, who is this person? Now everyone's attention shifted to Karna, but nobody knows that he is Karna or who is he. Nobody knows him. Then after he finished displaying, he wanted, he challenged Arjuna to fight with him um, alone. That he wants to fight Arjuna, and there should be a fight between Arjuna and Karna. But at that time, Arjuna told that I cannot fight, I can only fight with a king, I cannot fight with anybody else. Since we do not know who you are, so we cannot fight with you. I cannot fight with you. That way Arjuna was telling. In the in the meantime, Duryodhana interfered. He told that so far as Arjuna, you are not a king, you are not a Kshatriya, so I cannot fight with you. Only Kshatriyas fight with the Kshatriyas. Duryodhana interfered. He told that so far as the king is concerned, king is, there are three kinds of kings. One is by birth, the other is the by the that if somebody has the skills, and the third is if one has defeated a king. Three ways one a king is not only by birth. There are different ways. So he was. Then it was decided that he will have fight with Arjuna. Decided means that was the discussion going on. It is not yet started. Then Kunti, she become unconscious because she could see her son, because from the Kavacha and Kundala she could recognize that it is her son. After so many years she is seeing him, so she became very emotional and she fainted. When Vidura saw all these things, Vidura can see the future, so he knew what has happened. But he didn't want Kunti to create any kind of issue there. That's why he just indicated that keep quiet, don't tell anything. And then Kunti, but her heart was just paining like anything, because nobody knows who this boy is, but actually he's the eldest Pandava. But anyhow, now the fight will start between Arjuna and Karna. Because of the Duryodhana's interference, he insisted now it has to be done. Krupacharya came and wanted that everybody had to introduce, because everybody has to introduce themselves. But when it came to Karna's turn, he could not introduce himself. He didn't know that who really his father and mother. In the meantime, Atiratha, who is adopting him, who is the charioteer of Dhritarashtra, he came with walking stick. He came to that area, and when he came, Karna went and fell at his feet, and he put his crown. That crown, when nobody accepted him as a Kshatriya, then what Duryodhana did, he ordered, he took the permission of Bhishma Pitamaha, and then he wanted to make him a king so that he can fight with Arjuna. And he gave the Anga. He made him the king of Anga, and then he was given the crown, and the priest came to that same place where the tournament is taking place. Within short time, everything was arranged. Now he's a king, so nobody can tell that I will not fight with this person, and because you don't know him. But still, he is not able to tell who is his real father and mother. Then he was not. Then he cannot be allowed to fight. In the meantime, the dad came, so he removed the crown and put as the dad's feet or the other's feet. He was very happy to see that people are praising him, people are giving a lot of importance to him. He was very happy that what his son has achieved, and in front of the public, everybody now knows him. But now everybody knew him as the son of Radha and Atiratha. That's all. Not more than that. Not more than that. So, and Bhima interfered. Bhima came told that no, he doesn't deserve to die in Arjuna's hand. In Arjuna's hand. Only he told that you go and hold the reins of the chariot and have a stick. That is, you are meant for that. You are not meant to fight. But Duryodhana again, he shouted. He told us, "Who you are to tell this thing to this man? He is really such a. He can be the king of the entire universe. He is so talented." But then who is your father? All the five Pandavas, all the great people, they don't know really who is their father. Like all the five Pandava brothers, though we tell that they are the children of Pandu, but actually they are not born from Pandu at all. So nobody knows the parents of the Pandava brothers. Nobody knows even how the Bhishma Pitamaha was born. Nobody who is the father. There is no father at all. The father means he got married to without anybody's knowledge. Then how Bhishma Pitamaha was born? Even though Vyasadeva is such a great personality, but nobody has seen his father. So it is, and nobody knows also even how Pandu was and Dhritarashtra was born. But nobody is considering them that less than Kshatriya. So why you will consider this man as not as a Kshatriya? He has got all the qualities of the Kshatriya. That really made everybody to applaud the behavior of Duryodhana, that how he wants to help somebody, and he has given greatness to others who is not known at all. So he drew everybody's attention. Everybody applauded Duryodhana. Even Bhishma Pitamaha also, he really liked how Duryodhana behaved, the greatness of Duryodhana. Then anyhow, it became evening, and the tournament was over, and everybody is going. And Karna came to Duryodhana, and he really expressed his gratitude, and he started crying that you give me to limelight, and you give me some recognition. Nobody knows me. They tell that I am the charioteer's son, but you made me the king of a state, and I'm really extremely grateful. Duryodhana told that, no, you don't have to be grateful. It is, I have not done anything special for you. You really deserve. Only I have done that one. I don't need anything from you except friendship. I will need your friendship. And Karna promised at that time, I will be there with you all the time in any situation. That promise he had given. And he has never forgotten Duryodhana's help. So the tournament really ended in a fiasco. What really Dronacharya wanted, that it didn't materialize. He wanted to show that Arjuna is the greatest archer. But now this Karna came and spoiled everything. Now at the time he is known as Radha. He come and spoiled. Then Yudhishthira was worried that he was thinking that we are invincible, so nobody can do anything to us. But this Karna is much better than Arjuna. So that really that was bothering him. So the Krupacharya, they were not feeling good because they wanted the Pandavas to do well. But everything is now taken away by the stranger. So everybody went. From that day, Duryodhana got a big support in Radhe. So he wanted to take a little bigger step in humiliating or in getting rid of the Pandavas. And Sakuni was the mastermind behind it. Always he was instigating that um, that Dhritarashtra is not given the rightful opportunity, and he was not given the kingdom because he was blind. And again, Yudhishthira is the older son, so everything is slipped away. The kingdom will never come to the Kauravas. So he was instigating, and again, his sister's son, Duryodhana. But Duryodhana can be manipulated. He doesn't have his own thing. He's not stable. He's not mature. So Sakuni was just playing on his mind. One day, it happened that after the tournament was over, then there are some fine tricks. Just Dronacharya was trying to teach some few things to Arjuna. Then he will declare to the world that he is the best archer because he was so pleased by Arjuna. One incident, it made a lot of impact on Dronacharya's mind. That one night, um, Arjuna it was dark, pitch dark, Amavasya day. Arjuna was at night, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, he was shooting arrows. So one can hear, and because it was so quiet, and and they were staying with the Dronacharya, so at night, Dronacharya could hear the twang sound of the arrow. Then he came out and he saw that a small boy is standing and shooting. Then he came to near. He saw that it was Arjuna. Then he asked Arjuna, "What are you doing?" And I am so, "Oh, Guru." He bowed down to Guru by seeing his humility. Dronacharya was very pleased. "So what are you doing?" "Now I am learning archery." "How can you learn archery in the nobody learns archery in the night time?" "What really made you?" "I have not taught this thing." "Then who taught you to that you can shoot at night? You can learn." "No, I learned it from Bhima Bhaya." "How Bhima? Bhima is not a archer. He's a blessed person, Gada." So now one day when he was asleep, he was eating food. Then I asked him, when he got up, I asked him, "How can you eat food at night? Your eyes are closed." He told that it is not that only through eyes we see. Eyes are required to see at daytime, but hands have also eyes. And that really inspired. If the hands have eyes, then I can shoot arrow even if I'm not able to see anything with the fleshy eyes. That's what I'm doing. And then Dronacharya was so pleased to see the amount of inspiration and the effort he's putting to master the art. So he was very pleased. So now he declared that he gave all the final training after the tournament, and he declared that Arjuna is the best archer. And when he was talking with Arjuna that there is nobody equal to you in this world, you are the best. And he felt very proud of himself. But immediately Dronacharya told, you are the best archer and nobody can defeat you except one. Except one? Who is that? And suddenly all his inspiration went away and he was very curious. That is there anybody who is better than me? Because some kind of pride has gone to his mind. That's why he was telling like that. Then Dronacharya told that, learning and pride, they don't go together. If pride is there, it will always pull that person down. And the higher the person goes, the lower that person will be pulled, because pride was like a load, like a big stone. It will pull the person. So you should not have. So one should not have pride. And then Arjuna, of course, he understood that what Dronacharya was telling. He was not that arrogant. But this, when he was announced as when Dronacharya told him that you are the best archer, then he became very egoistic. So he wanted to remove that one. Dronacharya wanted to remove. Then Arjuna asked that who is the person who can defeat? He told that he is none other than Krishna. Krishna, who is belongs to the Vrishni Vansha, and actually he is the son of your mother's brother. If you make friendship with him, then no asuras, no danavas, no devatas, even Indra cannot do anything to you. Always you will be protected, always you will be victorious. You have to make friendship with Krishna. And Krishna also knows all of you, all the Pandavas, and he has got, because it is is a cousin of the Pandavas. So he will always protect you. Make friendship with him. Then Arjuna agreed with that, and soon he will come and meet you. That way Dronacharya told. In the meantime, Duryodhana, after this tournament, he was a little boldened by being friend with Karna. Now he has little more strength. He's feeling more. He was a little doubtful regarding his own strength. When Karna is there, so he thought I can achieve anything. So one day he went to the court, and Dhritarashtra was sitting. He went to the court, and the Dhritarashtra asked that why you have come. Um, that what is how things are going on. At that time, Duryodhana expressed his sadness, and he was telling that, do you know what a big mistake you have done? Because after the tournament is over, that means the education is over. Then all the Pandava brothers and Kaurav brothers, they came to the kingdom, to Hastinapur, because they were staying with Dronacharya. They are learning in a different place. When they came, now it is the Bhishma Pitama to select who will be the Yuvaraj, because that is the Vidura and Bhishma Pitama. Dronacharya is involved, Krupacharya is also involved. That who will be the future king, Yuvaraj, one will be selected. And they selected Yudhishthira. That has happened. Now, Duryodhana is not able to tolerate that. So he asked that what a big blunder you have done, you did. You selected, you agreed to Yudhishthira being the Yuvaraj. Now we will have no position at all, because first of all, you are kept away from being the king. If you would have the king, then automatically as your son, I would have been the Yuvaraj. But now that is taken away, and it is you agreed to that. Even though others have told, you agreed to that, and then now Yudhishthira is considered a Yuvaraj. So he will be the king. Then after that, his children will be the king. So we will remain just as the slaves of the Pandavas. Will never king's son will the king. That will not be applicable to us at all. Dhritarashtra heard all these things. He told to Duryodhana that, remember, the kingdom which I am ruling now, because actually is owned by Pandu. He was a great warrior. He was very courageous, and he knew the skill very well. That's why he has conquered so many kingdoms, and those kingdoms are annexed to the Kuru kingdom. Is what it is now. It is because of the Pandu. I am just put as a king, but I have not done anything for this one. So he is the main person. And when he died, he left, go into the forest, and he died there. So then automatically the taking care of of his children are now, I'm given that responsibility. So it is for me to see that they are well taken care of. And then Yudhishthira, among all the Yudhishthira is older, then he has got all the virtues. He was the best person, and he is supported by all the four able brothers. They are extremely talented. Bhima is the greatest best fighter. Arjuna is the topmost archer. Then Nakula and Sahadeva. Nakula is an expert physician. Sahadeva is an expert physician, being the children of Ashwin Kumar, and then he is a professional in economics, the Nakula, and he's the most handsome person, and he's also extremely good in sword fighting. And Sahadeva, he knew astrology, he knew public administration, he also knows fighting, sword fighting, he's excellent. So we cannot, so he's supported by them. So it is very difficult to defeat them because they are all the top, and again they're supported by hundred of you. So don't talk of that why Yudhishthira is the selected as the Yuvaraj. Don't tell that. Then, and Duryodhana cannot tell anything. In the meantime, already Yudhishthira has spent 1 year as the Yuvaraj. Everybody is singing the praise of Yudhishthira. They're telling that how righteous he is. He has no partiality. He's full of compassion, embodiment of compassion and forgiveness. And everybody is so happy that he's selected as the Yuvaraj. And of course, he will be the king. So everybody in the town, that was the talk of the town, in the dining table, and when in front of the pan shop, when they are playing, all the time they are talking of Yudhishthira, and everybody is telling that this Dhritarashtra is blind and he is very narrow-minded, and Duryodhana is very egoistic. He is not fit to rule the country, and Bhishma Pitamo, he is fit, but he has taken vow not to take the throne. He is very capable, and he can really do well, but he will not take. So Yudhishthira is the best person, and we are all happy. This is the all we are talking like this. Then Duryodhana was getting he has put spies, so he was getting that message, and his heart was burning with jealousy. How he will stop this one? Then he talked to one day he went to Dhritarashtra, and at the time also there was nobody. So he told, Dad, I know that you are telling that it will not go well with the citizens, and particularly Bhishma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, they will not tolerate anything else. They will not accept anybody else other than the Yudhishthira, and Yudhishthira is supported by all the great people and all the citizens. So we should not take any step, wrong step, which will blame us. Don't do that. Then Duryodhana got very angry, very mad. He started like shouting and started walking and breathing heavily. He said, Dad, I know why you are telling like this. I know that you are afraid that others will listen what we are discussing, and that's why you are telling all good things regarding the Pandavas. But actually, there is nobody to listen, and I am telling you, the Bhishma Pitamaha, the other day I saw him that he is now keeping quiet. He is not interested. He is not interested in the kingdom at all. The other day, when the Bhima will fight with me, and I will go and tell to Bhishma to our grandfather, he will not help. He will not interfere in that at all. When he put Bhima in the water, we get poison, and that time also he didn't tell in favor of the Pandavas. He always maintained neutral that he is not interested. And also one day I saw him walking in the garden, in the palace garden near the Ganges. He was going just back and forth, and at that time I saw that deep thinking, and I saw also he was crying. Tears were coming from his eyes. Then I went near him and I asked, "Grandfather, what happened?" No, don't worry, I'm just tired. I'm tired and tired and tired. You're tired? Why don't you take rest, a little longer, long rest? No, I cannot take rest. You go. He told me like that, but he really gave me a hug and told that you go. So I see that he is indifferent. So he has nothing to do. And in the Krupacharya, again, Dronacharya's son Ashwatthama, though Dronacharya is in favor of the Pandavas, but particularly Arjuna, he is his most favorite student. But Ashwatthama is my best friend. He will always help me. He will stand with me till the last moment. If he is there with me, automatically Dronacharya, Guru Drona, has to support me because his son is supporting me. So he will support. And if he supports, what would Krupacharya automatically fall because he is the son-in-law of Dronacharya is the son-in-law. If son-in-law and the sister is married to the Krupacharya's sister, so automatically Krupacharya also will fall. So all of them they will support. Don't think that they will create any kind of opposition. Only Vidura. Anyhow, Vidura is in front of the Pandavas, and whatever situation may be, he will always go with the Pandavas. He doesn't care for you. He will not stand for you. So you don't worry regarding them. So far as citizens are concerned, you know why they are in front of Yudhishthira because Yudhishthira is the Yuvraj for 1 year, and that's why they are praising him. You do one thing, um, make the Pandavas to go to forest for 1 year, and in that during that time make me the Yuvraj for that year, and so that people will see me, they will transact with me, they will see my greatness, and they will be in love with me, and they will forget the Pandavas. You please do that for me. Then Dhritarashtra, no, I cannot do that. That will be sin. I cannot do. But actually, in the heart of heart, he really liked the plan of Duryodhana. Now it is the um, then what will do? Duryodhana gave this idea. It may be given by Sakuni or something. Duryodhana told that there is a place called Varnavata, and it is a very beautiful place. Send all the brothers along with Kunti there for 1 year, and let them stay, make all the facilities and everything, let them stay there, let them enjoy, and let me rule with the Yuvraj here. Then I'll transact with all the people, everyone will come to me, everyone will know me, then that closeness will be developed, and they will know that, okay, I'm also equally good, and they will forget. So then nobody will complain when you select me as the Yuvraj, then nobody will complain. Um, Somehow he kept quiet. And when he kept quiet, Duryodhana got very angry, get upset. He told, Dad, if you will not do that for me, then I'll commit suicide. That is always his strength. Duryodhana will always, to get something, nobody will listen to him because they don't see any logic behind whatever he's telling. When people don't listen, always he has threatened to commit suicide, and that has changed people. That has changed. He will go away or threaten that he will commit suicide. Then that was Dhritarashtra cannot take that. He cannot see his son committing suicide. So he thought that, okay, he kept quiet, and his planning is thinking that that may be a good idea to send the brothers to. And again, Yudhishthira will always listen. Whatever Dhritarashtra will tell, Yudhishthira will always follow that one. That was, he has taken that promise that I will never disobey the elders at all. Then the Dhritarashtra sat, and he really planned in the mind how to go about it, how to tell them. But then there was a person, his name is Kanika, and he was a great friend of Sakuni. And he is very clever, very conniving, and he can give very different ideas. And he's famous for destroying families. He has got a way of creating confusion. Then he was called. Then Dhritarashtra asked, "Do you know, Kanika, our heart is filled with sorrow. We are burning inside, and our peace is completely gone." Means his and all the children. Can you help us? Can you really make it little quiet so that we'll feel little more peaceful? And can you put out this fire which is burning in our heart constantly, and we are not able to sleep, we are not able to function? Then Kanika gave this idea. Don't worry, I have an idea. What is that idea? Now send them somewhere else. And Duryodhan was telling that. And then Kanika is telling Dhritarashtra, now he's sure that yes, it is not a bad idea to send them out. And then he asked Kanika that where will send? Then send to a beautiful place. But one thing you have to be very careful, because on the in front of them you have to show that you love them, you care for them like nobody else. Nobody else can love them as much as you love them. That they have to see. That behavior you have to show in front of them. But inside, you should plan very well how to completely kill them. They should not be alive at all. Because if we just like nip in the bud, before it becomes a big tree and occupies the entire area, you should exterminate them. You should completely see that they are not existing at all. Not that they are just going away, they are dead. And Dhritarashtra kept that in mind. And now he got little strength that, okay, now my son can be the king if I follow that one. Then he thought of and shamelessly he manipulated. He didn't have really love for the Pandavas, but he was showing that he has got a lot of love. But many times it has come out in front of the Bhishmacharya and Dronacharya. It has come out, but this time it was really, it is the climax. Now he took all the step, he forgot all the rules and regulations and what was told to him, and the Pandus previously was praising Pandu so much, and then he is protecting all his children and everything. And Kunti was told to stay in the palace, otherwise she was staying in Vidra's home. She wanted to stay, but Dhritarashtra, no, this is your place. So Kunti is staying in the palace. He completely forgot everything, and he called for Yudhishthira, because he knew that Yudhishthira will always follow whatever he's told by Dhritarashtra. He has got a lot of respect for Dhritarashtra. Then he called for Yudhishthira and then gave this proposal that why don't all of you go to, including Kunti, why don't you go for a like a retreat kind of thing, or like that what do you call here they call it that if somebody goes and stays in some isolated place for some days, go for a holiday kind of thing. You go there because you deserve some peaceful time, and Barnavat is a beautiful place, so you go and stay there. When he told you this, Yudhishthira could understand why, for no reason, suddenly Dhritarashtra is telling us to. He could understand. He knew everything what is going on in Dhritarashtra's mind, but he never objected. He went to Bhishma Pitamaha, to Dronacharya and Krupacharya, everybody, when they were sitting, and he told, it is not only the advice, it is the command of our father, but now he is the father, Dhritarashtra is the father, for us to go to the forest, and we are ready to go. So what happened to all the brothers after Yudhishthira agreed, and Yudhishthira took permission not only from Dhritarashtra, even from all the acharyas and all the great people. What happened that we'll see next time. This is the Barnavat episode. It's a very interesting episode, and where Duryodhana is trying to, and it was made beautifully. All the facilities are there, and so there will be no, they will not suspect that there is some ill intention behind they are coming here. But Yudhishthira knew what is the main purpose why they are told. But anyhow, they followed that. They went, and after that, what happened? We'll see next time. This is a Barnavata story. Very interesting question how they are planned. The Kauravas are planning to kill them completely, and Bhagavan Sri Krishna is all the time helping them. If God's help is there, nobody can. Even in Hindi we tell, in the Bal Banka, even one cannot even bend the hair. Even. That is how God's Lord Sri Krishna's blessing was so much for the Pandavas, because they are in the path of dharma. If dharma is there, Krishna is there. Where dharma is, Lord Krishna is. Where Lord Krishna is, victory. Yato dharma, tato jaya. So we'll see the episode of Varnavata next time. Hari Om.
Hari Om, Swamiji.
Did you all watch today the Gita Fest thing, Swami Tejavananda's first lecture on